So let's knock this out. The reason why most of your assignments say missing is because it's not turned in. And the only way to motivate certain people is to show them their current grades. Um, we will have to start making phone calls this week to parents based on if you have a U or a D. So I would advise to knock out all 10 assignments this week, and sooner the better. Because apparently last week, when the time was given to do the assignment, majority of you did not do it for whatever reason. So that means instead of easy classwork that could have been done, now it is technically homework until you get it done. You will have some time in class, but not a lot. Um, there are couples kiddos who went above and beyond. One got a 210% on one of them. There's a couple of people that got 110. I didn't know that you could do extra credit, but you can. Um, uh, we will go over some of them because it breaks down your answers. And not only does it break down your answers, it ranks the questions into easy, hard, and medium. Uh, some of y'all will be surprised on the questions that were labeled hard that you answered and you got them right. But so anytime we are done with slides this week, you will need to finish your assignments and then I will update grades accordingly. So anything that is highlighted, make sure you copy. If it is not, don't write it down. Sounds is the transfer of energy from a vibrating object in waves that travel through matter. So all sounds begin with vibrating matter, and it could be the ground vibrating when a tree comes crashing down, or it could be a guitar strings vibrating when they are plucked. Um, you can see a guitar string vibrating in. There was supposed to be a picture. Clearly, it didn't work. Um, so different things cause vibrations, sounds from dropping a book on the ground, from flipping a chair over, a desk, throwing a rock. Uh, there are different ways, different sounds. Hopefully, if this one person will let me borrow some instruments, we will be doing some different things. Loudness refers to how loud or soft a sound seems to a listener. The loudness is a sound is determined in tune by the intensity of the sound. So this is the scale that shows the intensity of a different sound. So mosquitoes are at a 20, with also rustling leaves. Breathing is at a 10. So these are things that really can't hurt your ears when it comes to sound wise. The worst thing that's on there is dishwasher, toilet flushing, and shower. So in the medium range, city traffic, vacuum cleaner, music in your headphones, lawnmower, motorcycles, handrail, rock concert, um, and thunderclap. Um, which I would think a rock concert decibel wise would be higher. But, in the highest range and, the yellow sometimes can hurt your ears. Um, but definitely in the red category. Max Stadium crowd at the highest noise. If you were in Cardinal Stadium or in Rupp somewhere, and how loud it is if every seat was full and everybody was yelling at once. Airplane taking off, a fighter jet taking off, shotguns. I didn't know decimal wise that they were higher than a plane or a jet, but they are very loud. And if you're in the country and it's hunting season, especially deer hunting season, you can definitely hear shotguns some miles away. You can tell that somebody was definitely shooting at a deer. Um, you can definitely know that they missed if they shoot more than once. Um, so pitch, the actual definition is high or low. A sound seems to a listener. That is the definition. Make sure you write what's in yellow. You will see the 8Z a lot, especially in physics, um, especially when it relates to electricity, uh, electromagnetic waves, lights, radar, sound. Um, is also used a lot in the International System of Units, SI. That's what Americans mostly measure stuff with. Uh, Most everybody else in the world use the metric system. Um, it came from a German scientist, uh, and the unit was adopted in 1933. So around after the Great Depression, during World War II was getting started. That's when they started using this part of measurement. A change in the frequency of sounds waves relate to, so in this example, I'm not even gonna read it all, but you are looking at when longer waves are used, the frequency is lower. So if you hear an ambulance, fire truck, any sirens from a distance, that means that is a low level wave and it's a low level frequency. When it is close to you, it is a high frequency because it's louder, and it's a shorter wave because it's coming at you a lot faster than it would as a distance. Uh, that is what pretty much Doppler effect is. So if something is close to you, the waves are shorter, it is louder. And if it's farther away, that means the longer it takes for the sound to travel, and they're lower frequencies.
Hi, I'm Mr. Tripp. Today I'm going to be explaining sound, frequencies, pitch, and amplitude. And to better explain this, I'm going to be using tuning forks. Tuning forks are sound resonators that have a U-shaped pattern, and when they are struck, they create the same constant pitch. Now, sound is vibration of particles, and to prove this, I'll strike the tuning fork, and you can see that it's vibrating. To further explain this, I'll strike it again and put it in some water, and you can see that the vibration causes the water to move. Now, tuning forks are determined by their pitch, by the length of the rod. This one has a higher pitch, and this one has a lower pitch. See that they are different sizes. Now, pitch and frequency are very close but different. Pitch is the highness and lowness of a sound, and frequency is the number of vibrations per given time, typically in seconds. Now, amplitude is a little different. So this will always play the same frequency and the same pitch, but I can change the amplitude by how hard I strike it. Let me show you. The harder I strike it, the louder it gets. The amplitude can change from this. Now, to further explain this, I'm going to use a sound whistle. The sound whistle is the same as a regular whistle, except the chamber can change. The chamber is what makes the frequency change. It makes a high pitch or low pitch. So you can see here.
Now I'm using a program called Audacity, and I'm going to show you how the force that I use to play the instrument is going to determine the amplitude of the sound. I'm not going to change the frequency of the sound, but only the loudness or the amplitude. So you can see from the three wave heights that the first one has a lower height, the second one has a little higher, and the last one has the highest height. The last one has the highest amplitude, the loudest sound. The first one has the lowest amplitude and the lowest sound. Now I'm going to show you how when the frequency changes, the pitch changes. Now I'm going to change this to a different audio track. I'm going to show you the spectrum of the way it is. As you can see, as it starts, I started out as a high note. The frequency was high. Then the frequency dropped, and then at the end the frequency increased again, and therefore the pitch went from high to low, back to high.
More instrument to show you. They're called boom whackers. They're long, clear plastic tubes. Same diameter, but different lengths. The long one makes this sound, and the short one makes this sound. My challenge to you is to figure out why the longer one has a lower pitch than the shorter one. Hi, I'm Mr.
You are done with notes. Make sure that if there is time, make sure you get your work done. Make sure you complete it all the way through. If I need to reset one of them because you don't like the grade, let me know. I'll see if I can do it or not. I tried on a couple, but they are still due on Friday. So the quicker you get them done, the quicker your grade will go up, and you won't get that phone call to your parent. Also, progress reports are due next Tuesday. That is when they will go out. Make sure that if you want extra credit, make sure you get it signed. The extra credit from last grading period for the people who got it signed helped you out. So if you haven't turned in certain assignments or you're struggling, make sure you get your progress report signed. but make sure you turn in all your work before you get it signed. Word for the wise.